One of the world's most iconic avenues, now the latest killing field for Islamic State. Dead and injured scattered along Barcelona's Las Ramblas. And feared among the casualties, 7-year-old Julian Cadman from Sydney.
We are concerned, but we are working closely with authorities to determine the whereabouts of the one Australian unaccounted for.
There were also elderly victims. This couple still holding their shopping. Most of the images too shocking to show. But the sound of terror cannot be silenced. The terrorist tactics had been tried and tested. A white van turned into a killing machine, and Melbourne firefighter Graham O'Sullivan heard it coming.
We heard all the noises of the vehicle smashing into the crowds, and then all the screams of the people involved in that, so pretty nasty stuff.
Las Ramblas cuts an imposing site through the heart of the old city, stretching 1.2 kilometres. The attack began at the northern end. The vehicle travelling at up to 80 kilometres an hour zigzagged for 500 metres down the tree-lined avenue, knocking down tourists and locals alike. A summer stroll down the famous boulevard became a mad dash to escape the mayhem.
Everyone just started running and panicking and running for their lives and crying and screaming, and we were forced back into the store.
They headed into nearby shops or onto the streets. Looking for a safe place to hide. There were parents clinging to their children. There was panic and confusion, and several Australians found themselves in the middle of the chaos.
I heard mayhem and screaming and looked over the top of it and saw the remnants of what had occurred.
Everything was really scary and I had no idea what to do, so I just yelled out "gun" to these guys and we all just ran the other way. And
when the madness stopped, 7-year-old Julian Cadman was unaccounted for. His desperate auntie pleaded for help on Facebook. Julian is 7 years old and was out with his mother when they were separated. Please share. The boy's mother was one of 4 Australians injured. She's in a serious condition in hospital, while another woman, also from New South Wales, is stable. 2 Victorian men who were hit by the van have been treated for minor injuries, while Melbourne couple Adam and Emma James got caught up in the stampede.
A number of shots were fired and we turned and ran, and as we turned and ran, unfortunately my wife got caught up and was pushed over and suffered some minor injuries.
Heavily armed police took over the streets and prowled the alleyways looking for the terrorists. This man was grabbed. It's unclear what, if any, role he played in the attack.
3 cops around him and had him handcuffed, walking down the streets, and there were still sirens going up and down the street.
But the terror for Spain was far from over. A few hours later, gunshots erupted on the streets of Cambrils, 100 kilometres southwest of Barcelona. Police had foiled a second terrorist attack. 5 men were shot dead after being chased in a van which tried to run people down. The suspects all wearing suicide belts. Further south in Alcanar, a house linked to the terror cell was destroyed in an explosion, killing 1 person and injuring several others. Police believe a gas bomb was being built when it detonated. Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the mass murder in Barcelona. Vehicles clearly have become its weapon of choice, and Las Ramblas an obvious target. There are no bollards in sight.
This is just a rife place for some kind of terrorism act. I said, look at the street, because it just was so accessible for a car to go up and down that.
This one, of course, has caught them off guard, and it really perhaps shouldn't have, because it's mirroring a number of the other low-tech attacks that we've seen across Western Europe in the last couple of years.
For more than a decade, Spain has been terror-free. Now it's back on the hit list, leaving a country in mourning and in fear.